Hey guys, John Hag here from Think Comics. I want to talk about some books that you may not be reading and that I think have new developments going on that a new reader would be really eager to jump on. And one of those books is Spawn, and this is issue 300. And I'm eagerly awaiting 301. And as a new reader, well, if you were a new reader, I would suggest checking out 301 and 300 because in this book they break down three different story arcs for characters that are already going on in Spawn. We see Al Simmons, the main Spawn. We see how his character develops in a new way. We see how Jessica Priest, she's a mercenary assassin who was pinned as the person who killed Al Simmons instead of Chapel. We see her character develop in a new way. And we also get to see the second Spawn, Jim Downing, his character develop in a new way. And it kind of sets up 301 in a really good way. The main problem that I have with Spawn that I should warn readers is Spawn has a hard time finding its tempo. It's kind of like a roller coaster ride. You'll have great artwork on the cover, and then when you open it, everything's dark and it's very wordy, or it's bright colors and it's heavy on action. Spawn doesn't. Spawn has a hard time finding whether it's a political drama with this, conspiracy theory with a lot of planning, or it's an action title. Those are the two big things that really hinder Spawn. But after reading 300, I think they're going in a new direction. I really think they're going to make Spawn what he was when he first came out and really run with it. That's what I'm hoping we get from this title. Another book that I really enjoy is Green Lantern by Grant Morrison. Now, this is a book that I love the art. It's by Grant Morrison, so you know it's going to be that goofy, heavy on the sci-fi action stuff that we all love Grant Morrison for. The art is fantastic. The stories are great. And I say stories because for new readers out there, this is definitely a book for you to pick up. Mainly because this book is written in an episodic form. Each issue is kind of its own story. Now, granted, some elements carry over into the next one, but it doesn't hinder that current issue. And it flows very, very nice. This is one of those books that I really feel people aren't talking as much as they should about. And this is one of those books when I get in my hand at the comic book store on a Wednesday, this is one of those books that I open really fast and read. A definite checkout. I know a trade of this just came out not too long ago, or is about to come out, so definitely get it. Fun read. If you're a big Hal Jordan fan, read it. If you don't like Hal Jordan, I don't know what to tell you. There's other Green Lanterns in here, but it's mainly Hal. I haven't been this excited about Green Lantern since Jeff Johns' run with the character. Next is Batman. I know a lot of guys, I know what you're saying, well, everyone reads Batman. But a lot of guys stop reading Batman, and girls stop reading Batman because Tommy King's, it's been a roller coaster. He's doing a lot of different stuff with the character. He's going in directions that we really weren't expecting him to go into. But I really think the City of Bane, it's issue 77 with the death of a character that's very, very dear to the Batman mythos, is really going to, kickstart where this story's been building up to and where it's supposed to go. Really enjoyed 77 for the shock and awe factor. I believe this Wednesday coming up is when 78 comes out. I'll definitely be picking that up and read. Definitely look into this. Good luck getting 77. It's online and it's going pretty big. Last time I was on there, I saw this issue going for $25, $30, and people are actually bidding on it. Now, next is a title that a lot of people haven't been big fans of, and it's Superman. Myself, I'm a big Superman fan, and really only the diehards have been reading this. The Bendis run hasn't been as great as we hoped. I haven't really been impressed with it. If I wasn't a diehard Superman fan, I would have dropped this title long ago. But here we have the finale, I guess you would call finale, with the Destroyer of Krypton down here. And the highlight of this book, and the reason why I'm telling you guys to check this out, is we get to see the return of the Legion of Superheroes. And this book shows their return, and it sets off, hey, and maps out what issues are coming out. And we get to see, what Jonathan Kent, they want him to go with the Legion of Superheroes. So it's going to be neat to see where Superman fits into that, because he's always played an instrumental role when it comes to the Legion of Superheroes. And that is, for me, one of DC's high points, is having those characters back in their universe. And I really think that's what this title needs, is something different, because I'm telling you, I haven't been as satisfied with the Superman run. Now, the before the Bendis came in, before the Bendis, I guess, reboot of the book, I really enjoyed it. I had fun with Superman. It was a breath of fresh air compared to what I got from the New 52. But pick up 14 if you can. Definitely when 15 comes out, check it out and get, I believe, Legion of Superheroes of the Millennial or something like that. It came out this past Wednesday. Check that book out. A lot of fun. Hopefully. The next book I'm going to talk about is Batman and Superman 1. Now, this is going to deal with Batman and Superman's latest team up, and they're going to be dealing with the Batman Who Laughs. Now, I didn't really read. I read the first 2 issues of the Batman Who Laughs miniseries. I was okay with it. The problem with him is I just saw him in the Metal storyline, and I feel like DC's just shoving this character down our throat. And I get he's powerful. I get his backstory, what makes him so, deadly as a villain. But I just feel with everything going on in the DC universe, you have the Year of the Villain, Heroes in Crisis, Doomsday Clock. Now we have to worry about the Batman Who Laughs, and he's getting another Spotlight series. I just think it's overkill. But this book doesn't really focus on him and does a really good job at it. We get to see an evil Shazam, which I'm not spoiling it. It already had gotten spoiled by some people on the Year of the Villain cover. So this is definitely an issue to pick up and a series to follow in the coming months. You get World's Finest. They're back at it again, dealing with an evil Bruce Wayne. I don't know what else you can ask for. Next, I'll talk about the House of X and Power of X books. I know here I have the latest issue of House of X. Hickman's been doing a great job with this. I'm not an X-Men fan, really, but this book has really brought me back into X-Men, and I've been rereading a lot of the old Chris Claremont stories and the Chris Claremont Jim Lee run, which is legendary. I've been rereading that and having some fun with it. The only thing I can say with this as someone who hasn't really read X-Men for a long time and got back into it with this is that Hickman is very detailed on plot. He focuses a lot on story-driven books. You're not going to see a lot of action in this. As a matter of fact, there's pages which are good and bad that map out everything. For me, it feels overwhelming at times. Because I haven't been an X-Men reader for so long, and I'm just like, holy cow! There's a lot of, source material that you have to know and to understand. Like, I had to look up a lot of stuff on my own to really grasp, okay, this is what this character is, and this is where this is going, and this is what this means. So it's a very detailed plot. I had that problem. The other problem I had with this book is you have these characters. They go Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean, and Nightcrawler and them. They end up going to do a space mission on the moon. I mean, not on the moon, on a satellite with Mother Mold to destroy a Sentinel program that later becomes Nimrod. And I was really hoping that we would get to see some really cutthroat action. We got to see some of it with Apocalypse and his new four horsemen in the future. But we haven't really seen it with the Xavier and Magneto team up that we've been reading in the present timeline, which has kind of been a letdown for me. I was really, really excited to see that with them attacking this base because we get to see how their dynamic is different, where Charles and Magneto are on the same playing field. They disagree on some things, but they're mainly, instead of, one's for mutants, the other one's for mutants living with mankind, they've kind of come to this equal agreement of, hey, look, we need to focus mainly on mutants because the humans' primary motive right now is to kill all mutants, which, from Myron McTaggart's Different Lives, is the recurring thing, and peace has kind of been put on the back burner. Still haven't seen the action that I've been acquiring, but this is only issue 4. We still have 4 more weeks of this, so hopefully we see something. Next brings me to, I think, my favorite title that Marvel's been doing. It's Immortal Hulk. I cannot get enough of this book. It's heavy on the horror. They understand what they want to do with the Hulk, like what kind of character he is. He's not this fun, go-loving thing that you see in the movies. He's, when the Hulk shows up, he's a big problem. He's not there for fun. and you get to see the dynamic of man and beast, and the art is fantastic, and you get to see a lot of monsters and a lot of that sci-fi spookiness stuff that I think comics don't really get a whole lot. I love the Immortal Hulk. There's a reason why this book's winning awards. It is that good. This is the best thing out of Marvel for me in a long time. This is one of those books like Green Lantern I sit down and I read. Can't stress it enough. Immortal Hulk, if you're not reading it, definitely check it out. Next is from one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe, is Daredevil. I think with Daredevil, with his TV show, a lot of fans came out and were like, hey, Daredevil's pretty cool. What's up with him? What's he doing? And we've gotten several different Daredevil relaunches. This is the latest relaunch. We have, Fisk as mayor. Daredevil's been set up for a murder that he may or may not have committed, kind of deal. I'm not going to really spoil anything, but he's contemplating, should he be Daredevil? Does he want to be Daredevil? Hence why he's dressed the way he is. It's just a different kind of dynamic for the Man Without Fear. It's a good book. I've been having a real fun time reading this. Unfortunately, this book hasn't been getting as enough exposure as I think it should. If you're a Daredevil fan, definitely check this out. Try to get it. It's not a complicated story. It's really, really fun to read. Check it out if you're a big fan of Daredevil. The next book is Absolute Carnage. I just did a video on this not too long ago. This is a great run. If you're a big fan of the symbiotes, the Spider-Men, the characters that I guess flow with Spider-Man, this is a book for you. It's heavy on the sci-fi, the monsters, the gore, the action, and it has an interesting story, and it's not afraid to show detail and take the gore factor to that level. That's why it's teen plus. But if you're not reading this, definitely check it out. There's tie-ins for this book. If you don't read the tie-ins, that's fine. The primary focus is this. I've read the tie-ins. Most of them don't really coordinate with the main story. They kind of just move things along and highlight different characters. But if you want to read these, get these. These are $4.99. At least two was. I believe one was an $8 book. And the last book that I have is Event Leviathan. This is DC's kind of whodunit right now. I know DC's got a lot of big events going on. Doomsday Clock, this Year of Villain. They finished up Heroes in Crisis. They have, the Batman Who Laughs stuff going on. There's a lot of things going on in the DC universe right now, and it's kind of hard to correlate where they're going on and what timeline they're going on. The thing with this book that I really like is it highlights not only Batman, because he's the selling point of this book. That's why he's on the front cover, is, hey, look, Batman, I like Batman, I'm going to get it. But you get some characters that you don't really get to see a whole lot, being mainly the Question. This is a character that I really, really enjoy reading about, and I really like his adventures. He's like a detective, kind of tough guy, and he's really, really smart, and he really hasn't had his due in a long time. And this follows, they're trying to figure out who Leviathan is, what's their end game, where do they play out with the heroes and villain. We also get to, Year of the Villain, and we also get to see Lois Lane be a very pivotal character, and not the damsel in distress that she normally is. She's holding her own. She's right here with the costume heroes. They're trying to figure everything out, and we get to see a good display of how far Red Hood has come and what kind of character he is now. But that's really it for me, guys, with these books. If you see them, definitely check them out. If there's other books that you are reading that I'm not, please let me know. I'd love to go out and read them and read something new and talk to you guys about it. Please give a like, subscribe, comment, and always, support your local comic book store and keep on reading comics. And that's all for me, guys. Thanks.